I would definitely like to hear all of you, Bernabu, Nachaya Tungununi, Farah, August Ferne, Santara Suresh. All of you are free to open up for discussion. And let's see, I would like to have your thought process on how do we all work together, because there was a nice thought that came up, that we should all work together. A single hand may not be sufficient to conserve biodiversity. So what is it that you would all add to this effort that is being taken by CBD? Friends, you all know, I'll just give you one or two points to add on. We have three big tasks in the world today before us. One is conserve the biodiversity that is threatened and by various ways. Two, how do we really sustainably use the biodiversity? And third is equitably share the biodiversity so that everybody benefits out of biodiversity. And as we said, the resolution is in front of all of you. You must have gone through it. I would like some quick comments from all the winners, the speakers who made it excellent. I would invite the prize winner, the Merit Award winner, for their comments on this draft resolution. Yes, please. Over to you.
I would like to share my idea about conservation. Yes. Well, I think the key is that you have to engage locals to join the conservation of environment and biodiversity. And by get the locals to engage it, you have to really go into the area and help them understand like why biodiversity is so important to them and how it impacts their home. I think to conserve it, you have the locals' engagement is the key. Thank you.
I think that's an excellent thing, because all conservation starts by action from local levels, and then we have the global achievement. So thank you for that wonderful thought. Some other comments from the other speakers. I would, the first prize winner definitely can come in and make your thoughts, please. Or maybe the Green Wave CFP Special Award winner or the special prize winner, Santara Suresh, can come in and make your comments. Let's have your thoughts, please.
Sir, I would like to share my thoughts. First of all, warm greetings to one and all. Well, we can see that every change in the society happens from our home. It's like what things we learn from our home. And that is how every change should happen. We must tell our children how to save and reduce pollution. We do see there are many government policies that are being implemented, but there are people who come and collect our waste and people who prevent us from staying pollution. In that way, we should educate each and every person on how to save things. So it would be nice if we would start from our home itself and also from our schools to plant trees, to educate them, and then move towards locally. And then we can surely make a change in the world.
Wonderful, Santara. I think that was again a very excellent thought. She says the change begins at home. Change begins by behavioral changes, which should start at home. And she says, if this can happen, then there will be an attitudinal change, a behavioral change, and working with government and NGOs like us becomes very important. I would ask certain lead questions to all the presenters and all the group members here. We have two wonderful programs initiated by UN called the Green Wave Movement, which is going on very well. And you know that our own OISCA, we are celebrating our 60th anniversary, 30th year of CFP. We know that CFP in many countries have become a movement. Because of CFP, there have been very many advantages, just not in the schools. CFP has added on not only just green cover, it has brought about a total revolution in certain areas by increasing the tree cover and also helping in the local improvement of the local biodiversity. How do you all think that CFP program as a movement can go better with youth joining us? Some comments, please. would you like to make your comment, Santara?
Yes. Can I have?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I've seen that a lot of youth are not aware of the environmental problems. They are in their own bubble, thinking about their own careers, education, and things, but they don't care about the environmental. So the first thing, everything, as I said, we have to begin from home to make them understand what it is. So I think we need to involve more youth to make them understand the problems that people are facing today, especially during the pandemic. And so I guess we need to make our campaigns more stronger to make them show them the real incidents where people are affected by many environmental disasters. So I guess that's how the youth will be involved in so many campaigns.
Okay, but let me give you some more inputs. Across 37 countries, there is this movement called Green Wave Movement, initiated under the CBD by the UN. And what is this Green Wave Movement? Is nothing but asking the schools to be active in biodiversity conservation. You're supposed to take pictures of them and send them on May 22nd, which happens to be the Biodiversity Day. I'm very sure many of you would have participated in the Biodiversity Day. And I'm sure some of your schools would have been highlighted in the world map on the 22nd every year. This movement of Green Wave is catching up across the globe. Our own OISCA, where we work across 37 countries in the world, this Green Wave initiative is very big. Our CFP program, as I mentioned a while ago, is a tremendous input from the children, particularly youth. The teachers and the students are the future of biodiversity. This is my feeling. In case you have to improve our biodiversity, augment our biodiversity, we need the strength of the children. Now, how will children act as ambassadors for improving biodiversity is my question to you. Comments, please. How can children act as ambassadors to improve biodiversity in the world? How do we work locally, regionally, nationally, and globally to improve our biodiversity?
Can I have some idea about myself? Well, I think you have to do like a social media approach on, promote the biodiversity conservation, because where most of our youth and children are right now is we are always in connection with social media. And I think it was so important that, you have to do a lot of promote and make that children think that it was so important by making biodiversity comes to social media where it's really close to us. I think that's my idea.
Fantastic thought. Any other idea? Yes, the power of social media has to be utilized. I totally agree with you. And it's a strong weapon. We can definitely. Yeah, from my friend, Bernabe, would you like to add some comments? From Uzbekistan.
Hello everyone, my name is Timur. I have some thoughts about solving this problem. I think for saving the environment, everybody should pay attention more seriously, specialists and non-specialists. Once a time, I read some information about environmental situation in Uzbekistan, and that information was so bad. We are losing green places and the ecology is becoming more and more bad. So I wanted to change my position and my experience. For example, at university, I studied English language, but nowadays I want to work in the agriculture and environmental position, so that I can be an example of non-specialists who pay attention seriously to the environment. And my message is to everyone, please pay attention to the ecology and environment more seriously. If you are not specialist or non-specialist, please pay attention. I think it's not, we have them saying, it's not my garbage, but the planet is ours. So I think we should pay attention more seriously to the environment and engage all people, specialists and non-specialists for the environment. Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent. I think, yeah, a round of applause. You say that specialists and non-specialists should come in, and you say that children from any walk of life, maybe English literature, maybe geography, history, but they should have an element of understanding of ecology. That is what you've been trying to say.
yes,
And you say every student,
yes,
whatever subject they are, but invariably, all of them should be involved in ecology, ecosystem restoration, and biodiversity improvement. Excellent. I think that's very good. So engaging everybody and making everyone attend to this thought is very, very, very important. As you rightly said today, a lot of people are dependent on biodiversity for livelihoods. So biodiversity is important for livelihood, for food security, nutrition security, for our health, for our well-being, and for the global happiness at large. We know that with loss of biodiversity, our soil is lost, our environment is lost, our Earth's security is lost. I was reading recently that 90% of the people are dependent on traditional medicines, and all the traditional medicines come from biodiversity and from forests. So if we start losing all these things, we definitely will land up in problems. And so that is how we have very important programs today by the UN called the Cartagena Protocol, the Nagoya Protocol, the Aichi targets to conserve biodiversity. I feel that students should start reading a lot, whatever subjects you are in, but you have to understand biodiversity unless you all come into this framework. See, government is making a lot of programs. Government wants to make all the sectors involved in biodiversity. Sometime back, only one department or two departments like forest department used to come. Today, all the sectors are working on biodiversity, and we want particularly the youth to come in to do a lot. And because youth are the custodians of natural resources. So would you like to say how you would like to be custodians of natural resources? The youth, please. What are your thoughts? The natural resources are the ponds, the pools, the rivers, the mountains. How do you become stronger? You know that there are two forms of conservation, the ex situ conservation, that is outside the natural areas, and the in situ conservation. How would you like to be partners? For example, if it is a zoo management or a protected area management, how will you all come to play your roles? Floor is open.
I think I am not a specialist in the environment because I studied English, but for doing the more seriously and further actions for the environment, non-specialists should learn the environmental knowledge. For example, I think OISCA, one of the great company is that can give that kind of information and knowledge for the non-specialists and the specialists in its much experience. So I think every activity, ecological activity, should be a leader who studied environment and learned ecology, and he can or she can engage all people his attention and efforts.
Yeah, thank you.
I think
very
we
happy.
should theory.
Yeah, excellent. See, in fact, I appreciate you because OISCA, we have in our program to see that youth are the real change makers. We want to involve the youth and see that particularly the young adults have a very big role, because you are moving to become the adults of the country, and all the responsibility, we are handing over the baton to you. And we want you to take over. Not that we are trying to pass on our responsibility to you, but how do we, adults and young adults, join together to make this country or the whole world become harmonious with our nature, and how do we change our attitude? We have been, OISCA has been working with teachers, with citizens, with students to see that we engage you in understanding biodiversity better. And we definitely would like to say, for example, I'll ask you a question. If you are from an urban area, how will you build biodiversity in an urban area? How will you build biodiversity in a rural area? Any idea? We would definitely have your thoughts. See, for example, urban area today, indicators of very good biodiversity conservation is more birds and butterflies coming to urban areas, cities and towns where you people are living, more number of natural trees there. Now, Singapore has recently brought out a very good indicator for good biodiversity in urban areas, where they see that a lot of small gardens, community parks, if these things are there, naturally butterfly gardens, and when there are many such things, even our recreation should be merged with gardens so that children understand biodiversity better. You all know that there is social capital and the natural capital. The natural capital is the biodiversity, the environment, the forest. The social capital is you. You have social capital, we all have a very big responsibility to see that our natural capital is promoted. And so we have to work together. And environment and ecosystems, as somebody rightly said, there is genetic diversity, there is species diversity and ecosystem diversity. The genetic diversity, how do we protect? How do we protect the ecosystem diversity? And how do we protect the species diversity? Please throw some thoughts.
Okay, I would like to combine like the previous question and this question together, because I think first locals have to protect their land because they are really close to nature, right? People in like the rural area, they're more close to the nature. So to teach them to protect their homeland is basically the point of saving and conservation. And people in the urban area also have to reduce their waste, because a lot of waste come from city, plastic and everything. And I think a lot of people from urban didn't know that like they're making it worse because they're really so far from the nature. So to raise awareness of them to reduce the waste is, I think, is what important for people who live in the urban area to save the world. Thank you.
Superb, superb. So what you said is very important, local action and urban action. And you are able to say that the urban people have a disconnect with nature. That is a very serious thing, because nature disconnect should not happen anywhere for that matter. And you say that we have to get ourselves connected to nature. Excellent thought. This connectivity is very, very important. See, in any ecosystem, there are 4 functions of ecosystem. We all know that ecosystems have provisioning function, cultural function, spiritual function, and also regulatory function. Now, the provisioning function, the goods and services, the timber, the minor forest products, so we get all that from biodiversity. The cultural function, the happiness, etc. The spiritual function, OISCA stands for all these things. That is why our founder thought about, wanted to make this organization close to biodiversity. And we ensured that we were fundamental in understanding our organic agriculture. We thought about Fursuto, which we said that live at home and make your home happiness. And then only the whole world can be looked after. Today, in the globe, there is something called nature deficit disorder, NDD, nature deficit disorder. This is a very serious thing because people are disconnecting themselves from nature. And you rightly said that we all are multi-species solidarity becomes very important, because everything is shared. Nothing is mine and nothing is yours. All of us are living together. Now tell me, in an environment where we are all sharing and living together, how do we judiciously and sustainably use biodiversity? Floor is open for discussion. Kitsuki-san, you can also please intervene if I am talking. I would like any of you to make your thoughts.
Thank you very much. I just want to add one thing, because a few speakers touched upon this issue. There are many areas, the biodiversity, and one of them is very important. That is the biodiversity in the soil, because the present world faces the deterioration of soil conditions in farms, and unsustainable agriculture is being practiced today. So this means in the soil, the living beings, microorganisms, are decreasing very much. So that's why this unsustainable agriculture. So I hope young people will also pay attention to this issue. improving the farming practice and make unsustainable to sustainable agriculture. Thank you.
Oh, that's a fantastic thought. Agriculture, which probably all our food security and nutrition security is from there. We know that today one of the greatest threat to biodiversity is from agriculture itself. The way we are expanding agriculture expansion. Now, Kitsuki-san has thrown up an important point. Soil is the essence of life. Soil is so important. That is what he has told. How do we really protect our soil is for the young people to think about it, because all the zoonotic diseases is because today the forest floor or the farm floor is covered full of invasives. Invasive species in many countries are becoming a very big threat, and the soil itself, because of lack of water, is suffering. I know there are a lot of youth who have played very important role in soil conservation, in agriculture. We like Japan, we have seen how youth take a lot of interest in agriculture from the school days. And now this is picking up in many other countries, that youngsters are coming to agriculture. I know engineers are turning out to become very good agriculturists. So people from all streams are moving into agriculture. It's a positive sign. But, and you know that all our source of health lies in healthy soil. So we have to see that seeds and soils are very important, and their decline is not in the good of any environment. Any thoughts on it? Will you like to add on the comment made by Kitsuki-san on soil? How will you protect and conserve soil and support sustainable agriculture?
Good afternoon to everyone.
Yes.
I would like to add some regarding the sustainable agriculture. In nowadays, it is practicing integrated pest management system to the world. We can control most of the pathogen without using any chemical methods, such as biocontrol methods, which means you can isolate some good and antagonistic microorganism which can kill such pathogens on the soil. So it is very environmental friendly method. And some other using some herbicides which can produce not in chemical method, like organic way. So if we can implement such integrated pest management systems to the agriculture, so it can conserve a lot of biodiversity. Nowadays it is practicing, and also there's a world trend is going in for the organic agriculture. A lot of developed countries, I think Japan also in that category, they are practicing organic agriculture, which produce very healthy fruits and vegetables and legumes and grains, which helps to increase the nutrition level, and people can get more healthy fruits and vegetables, which help to increase their healthy level as well. So that is my comment about the sustainable of the good agriculture using integrated pest management methods.
Thank you, Dr. Camelia. I think that was a wonderful thought. World over, people are thinking about integrated pest management, and you have sounded on the need for biocontrol agencies, but of course, biocontrol also, we should be only using the local biocontrol agents, and that's very good. That's how agriculture has to look at productivity in a positive way using local resources. Fine. Some other thoughts as to how we can enrich schools in biodiversity conservation. Our CFP program, I would like some of the young children who are part of the CFP program, Children's Forestry Program, to say one or two good thoughts as to how we can improve further our Children's Forest Program and support biodiversity conservation and environmental protection. Some quick thoughts, please.
Sir, I do feel like out of classroom techniques would be really helpful, because children are just onto their books and their syllabus, but they don't know what's happening outside in the world. So if you would take them outside and show what environment is, I guess it would be really helpful.
Okay. Yes, what Santara said is nature provides all solution, and we have to provide solution to nature. So it has to be vice versa, is what she says. Book alone will not be enough. that a lot of understanding comes from nature learning. So therefore, visit forests, go to open areas, understand biodiversity better, not from books alone, but which is more theoretized, but we also by making nature walks, by going to forest walks, by being part of animal census, by being, isn't it? I'm trying to just, develop on the thoughts of Santara. And this is what she's saying. Wonderful, very nice. Any others who have not spoken are free to come in and give your thoughts on CFP and also on excellent programs that OISCA has been doing to bring in, garner the support of youth for biodiversity and environmental conservation. When it comes to environmental conservation, there's a whole lot of programs that OISCA has been doing, like, cleaning ponds, lakes, and mangrove conservation, restoration of forests. Now, see, the other big challenge we have is this decade, as our President OISCA has also told, this is the decade of ecosystem restoration. All the ecosystems are defiled. How do we youth play a very important role in sustainable development, achieving sustainable development goals, and in ensuring that your ecosystems improve in the next 10 years? Ecosystem restoration starts from now, 2020 to 2030. What will be your role? Comments, please.
Sir, can I give a comment, please?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Wonderful.
Thank you. Okay, good afternoon. Let me introduce myself to you. My name is Hera. I come from Indonesia, and I am a primary teacher of SDN 5 Karantina. I would like to say thanks for very attractive discussion today. And I would really enjoy of the last question is about what is your good thought about CFP at the school, especially I'm as a teacher. I would like to share about, in fact, in our school area, there is no relation between the school program, especially for the green wave activity. So it is still a very limit program that have conducted at school, especially in our school has joined with OISCA in 2013 and until now, and we have a very important and a very advantageous of CFP activity, especially we have now mini forest, and it is good for our school as the best place for studying. But the most difficult thing is about the correlation and connection between the school program and with the government. It is our big challenge, how we can overcome all those problems. And we do believe by joining in the CFP program, this will be joined into our school program. I do believe, and we believe that our school it will become the best place for studying. And then the student will be more aware about the environment itself. So that's all about our big problem today. Thanks for the time. Bye.
Excellent, excellent. And so nice that you spoke about CFP, the potential of CFP, the probability of CFP becoming a mega program for a change in the mindset of students. This is what we really in OISCA, we're very happy that this program has drawn good attention of youngsters and is enthused teachers like you. And for us, teachers have been, again, a very, very success point because you have, again, supported the students. And yesterday I was seeing some pictures of our own OISCA South India. Young children have planted trees, saplings. They have all become big trees today. The entire areas, the school has become a forest. But they have all become adults. They are all working somewhere. So when you visit your school after 10 years, holding important places, you will see that the tree, that the sapling that you planted has become a tree. And it has brought a lot of benefits to the school. So I think the CFP program has to be taken in a very big way in many schools, and we should capture schools through our CFP program. Some nice thoughts have come. Thank you. Some more thoughts on how we can conserve terrestrial biodiversity, the ocean biodiversity, the coastal area biodiversity. The floor is open, and also for environmental conservation. We know today there are a lot of protected areas, the national parks and sanctuaries in many countries. Some thoughts on that is also good.
Well, I would like to mention to conserve the mangrove forest, because mangrove forest is take place a lot in Southern Asia and also exist in Japan and India also. So, and mangrove always known by its high biodiversity. So I think people should focus on like conserve mangrove forest and a lot of mangrove forest loss is from farming, aqua farming and agriculture, that people doesn't know that it was affect our biodiversity. So I think we should have like effective laws to prevent the agriculture and aquaculture that happen in mangrove forest, to prevent and conserve our biodiversity. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Good. Very good. Thank you. I think you made some very important point. What you've told is that we should have some laws, but more important than laws are there, and it is we who have to see that the laws are implemented. But there are certain things beyond laws as well. And this is what is called as citizen science, citizens forum, where all the people together, we should make we should become watchdogs of any wrong activities that are happening. Nuchaya has made some very critical comment on the importance of biodiversity on mangroves. We understand that the livelihood of fishermen, the coastal people are all dependent on mangroves, and we also know the role of mangroves during tsunamis and things like that. So we need to increase our mangrove cover in each country, particularly along coastal area. That is a very good point that you have told. I think very well accepted, because it is also very rich in biodiversity. Any other thoughts that touch your mind? I think we have another 5 minutes. I think, I do not know. Are we on time, Kitsuki-san? I think we do. Do we have another 5 minutes?
Could you just discuss the resolution?
Yes.
Inviting some comments or suggestions from the floor about this resolution.
Yes.
I hope all of you have copies, draft proposal of the resolution.
Have you all gone through the resolution?
Yes.
It's very excellent resolution that has been drawn out, and wherein I don't want to read it. It may take a lot of time. Have you all gone through? It was sent yesterday, and the resolution, the crux of the resolution, I can tell you, it says that the speech, the OISCA speech, which was with more than 500 entries, with a lot of students taking active interest. It was almost for 8 months that the program went on, the Global Youth Forum Speech Contest. And from there, today, most of you are here with us. But this, aware of the world's crisis today, the contestants shared their proposals for action. Like all of you spoke differently, but spoke about the importance of biodiversity, and you were and environmental conservation. You have in this GYF 221, you have also told us that awareness is very important. Proposals for our actions and experiences are important. And the speakers said that youth have a very important role to play. It is imperative to respond positively, and to presenters' calls for cooperating to create a world where every species can live happily. Many of you told that it is important that we live in harmony with nature. We recognize that we must further introduce Green Wave, CFP, and spread it widely, because the participating schools have demonstrated its effectiveness. It is easy to implement, involving education, practical skills development, positive emotional enhancement, and community sustainability. The UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration urges every person to play a part in its success. The Green Wave and CFP can provide a structure to have everyone play a role. That is very important. We in OISCA feel that particularly the Green Wave and the CFP together can become a movement in the world for increasing the tree cover and the green cover. The Green Wave CFP will pave the way for biodiversity conservation and contribute to SDGs. All the youth should know about SDG. The UN has told that 2030, the 17 SDGs with 169 targets have to be achieved. No hunger, no poverty, and sustainable cities. These are all the 17 goals. And goal 13 is very important, which talks of climate action. Goal 14 talks of life below water. Goal 15 talks of life on land, which includes the freshwater and also the ecosystems that we all live in, the terrestrial ecosystem. So it becomes very important that youth become brigades, the OISCA, and make it a OISCA movement, sensitizing them to the worsening natural resources. We will focus on preparing and orienting young minds for the crucial task of conservation and rehabilitation of nature. Thus, youth will provide solutions for future. OISCA chapters will take on the shared responsibility to stay as mentors for youth and facilitators for ecosystem restoration. We have told that all the chapters, the adults, will support the youngsters in becoming ambassadors for nature conservation. This is what our resolution is. We definitely want you to understand two important UN ideology, the sustainable development goals, all the 17 goals, particularly goal 13 and 15, and also what you will do during this 10 years of ecosystem restoration. We want you to play an active role in this, and we, the OISCA, will support all the youth over the globe. We also want more youth to join the OISCA movement through the CFP. We will be able to create more green cover and bring in green happiness and green harmony. Kitsuki-san may please add if you any comments on the draft resolution.
Sir, can I
Yes.
give comment?
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Good
Please comment.
afternoon,
Please.
everyone. My name is Dimas from Indonesia. And then yesterday, I have read draft resolution. And I think GreenWave CFP is one program we must continue because it's easy to spread and promote this program. And the target not only children's, but all communities. That's why this is very effective for spread environment education from the young generation until the old generation. And the GreenWave CFP not only in upland, but in coastal like mangrove. Inside the GreenWave CFP program, maybe we have to more emphasize subject like building awareness with respect to the other living things, like plants, animals, microorganisms, nature, and the environment. Now, I think the problem is lack of awareness about respect to the nature and environment or other living things. Because of lack of education, or they didn't get enough knowledge about the importance of protecting the environment. This is like opposite side, we good in planting, but the other side we keep hunting, selling, or killing rare or wild animals. That's why we must teach or inform the community about respect to nature, because we live on this earth, we need each other, or we call it mutualism. There is one quote I want to convey, share, and remind everyone before I close this comment. For information, I got this quote from Google when I want to upload a video in my Instagram about bird flying above mangrove forests in OISCA project in Indonesia. This quote is, "This earth or Mother Earth was created for all of us, not some of us. So we must respect all living things, like plants and animals, microorganisms, and other living things who live in this Mother Earth." Please remember that quote for toward the vision of 2050 on biodiversity be a reality, which is living harmony with nature. Without respect with living things, living harmony with nature is just a sentence. Thank you.
Yeah, good. Fine. Kitsuki-san, would you some final comments on this? It was an excellent thought from Dimas. Thank you. I think you really touched the essence. Living in harmony with nature. It is just not, you have told that CFP should spread beyond schools. It should go even to include the community. And CFP should also take the responsibility of education through understanding plants, microorganisms, animals, create awareness on hunting, prohibition, protection, all these things you have told. And so therefore you say nature itself has to be taught through CFP. Fine, accepted, agreed. Open to Kitsuki-san.
Doctor. We at this time like to listen to some comments or suggestions from the young people rather than, because the draft is made by headquarters and by me. So if you have any comments or suggestions or questions, I'd appreciate. I want to listen to more. And thank you, Mr. Dimas-san. Thank you very much for a very nice comment. Appreciate it.
Youngsters, yeah, we've been inviting a lot of young people to speak. There are 24 participants in this
May I
group.
allowed to speak?
Yes, please.
Hello. Yes, good afternoon, everyone. I am John Lester Bisco from Philippines. So aside from, I agree with all the comments of my fellow youth today, as they have shared a while ago, and I would like to share also my inputs regarding the conservation of biodiversity. So I like the idea of expanding our network with social media, wherein the youth are very exposed to, so we can explore that way in exposing them on the biodiversity programs and events that we can encourage them to take actions and taking care of the environment. I would like to mention that we can also encourage a sustainable tourism in the community, especially on the existing projects already of OISCA. So we already know that we have done tree planting activities, mangrove planting on the seaside. So here in the Philippines, some areas are already developed with mangrove forest, and they turned the mangrove forest into a tourist attraction. So wherein people are allowed to visit, and then they became aware of the mangrove forest, on how the mangroves help during typhoons, and how the mangroves became the a nesting place of birds, as well as the small fishes where they grow. So, and then when the mangroves grow, the livelihood of the people around them also increases, because the number of catches they earned is increasing. So when we give the idea to the community that they have a sense of responsibility while taking care of the environment, we can encourage a sustainable tourism to the community. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Is it hearable?
Yes, please.
I think the knowledge and experience are the most important things, because the shortage of the knowledge, we lost the world's fourth largest lake, and the Aral Sea, and the Aral Sea became the salinated land and the soil.